Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Note Closer Show. And I'm honored today to have a rock star who is really doing some amazing things, not only in his own line of podcasting marketing, but doing some great things that I believe you'll be able to take away a lot from this episode and really apply to your business, apply to your marketing for real estate and other things that you're doing as entrepreneurship. And so give me a big round of applause for our buddy from the Breakthrough Success Podcast, a fellow New Media Summit icon, someone we got to meet a few months back and just been excited to have him on here. Our buddy Marc Guberti join us. What's going on, Marc? How you doing today?
Scott, thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm looking forward to providing value to your listeners.
Oh, man, you do, man. It's great. We originally met in Tampa, was it? Or was it in Austin? It was in Tampa at the our buddy Steve Olsher's New Media Summit. We got to talking. And then the thing that clicked immediately, I think, for us, there's a little bit difference in age, which is okay. I think I'm like twice your age. How old are you again, Marc?
21.
I'm exactly double your age. Exactly right. There you go. You're blackjack, baby. I'm double blackjack. But anyway, was that we're both enjoy marketing, both podcasting. But the thing that you mentioned, and I love, and those that know me here, is the fact of doing virtual events, online events to kind of help grow your audience and things like that, correct?
Yeah, I really love that model. It's great for building an audience, catering to your old audience, building connections, everything you could think of in virtual events.
Yeah, and it's a great way to, I think, to eliminate, I think a lot of people are tired of the travel, the cost of the travel, hotel rooms. Yeah. I know that I am. And so, but the fact is, like, where's home for you, Marc, again?
New York.
You're in New York. I'm in Austin, Texas. We're talking here. People from all across the country and the world are watching the videos or watching us on live. And that's a beautiful thing in today's technology, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your Breakthrough Success Podcast. Let's talk first about that. I love it, but for those that are listening out there, why don't you share a little bit of the insight of what made you start Breakthrough Success Podcast and some of the amazing guests you've had on there?
Sure. So Breakthrough Success, we've been doing it for a little over 3 years. It's a podcast where people learn how to win at business and life. So we have a lot of digital marketing strategies there, but we always have each episode like some personal development, like how do you accomplish your goals? What are some habits you should be forming? Because I feel like it's one thing to receive all this information because there's no such thing as an information shortage. It's just like, people tune into my show because they like the way I do interviews. You're listening to Scott's show because you like the kind of value Scott puts out. But there's no shortage of information. But the thing that I focus on, that's why I focus on, like, how do you actually take this information and take action? Because you could feel like you're accomplishing something by listening to all these podcasts and watching all these videos, all these different things. But end of the day, like, what work are you putting in? What results are you getting? So we focus on, like, the how-to strategy tactic, but then how to manifest those and make them happen.
Yeah, that's a great. I was actually just talking to a student of mine a few minutes ago, and he was asking, why aren't more people doing notes? And I'm like, well, you could put anything behind why aren't more people doing blank, because we find that 80 to 90% of people, they take a class or they listen, but they never take that action step, right? And I'll say that, like, I'm a big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk, man crush, boy crush, whatever you want to call it. I think a lot of people do. And I loved listening to the Gary V show, but I found myself each day listening for an hour, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm an hour behind on what I need to get done. I'm not getting the actions that I need to take to get where I need to be. I'm not putting my hustle in beyond the listen to make things happen. And you see a lot of that happening out there too. You hear that from a lot of people too, huh, Marc?
Yeah, it's like, if you read a whole audiobook, it's great, but have you taken action on it? So, I'd rather, like, I get a lot of comments on YouTube, stuff like that. A lot of people engage me, email, stuff like that. The ones I like the most are people who comment and they say, great video, great takeaways. I just made this change, or I just did this step based on what you said. Those are the comments and stuff like that I love to get the most. I saw Scott nodding his head, so probably he likes getting those the most. So it's also a great way to build relationships with the people who are putting out this content.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that we both are driving content and hey, we enjoy it, but I think those that podcast, we love to hear our audience. We love to hear our extended family taking action on what we're providing. We're not just up here talking to talk for the most part. We want to provide content and provide good quality information to our listeners. That's when you and I have been, exchanging emails. Hey, let's get you on. And we get slammed being busy, which is a good thing. But the point is, like you said, you've got to take that action. And that's what we want. Hey, here's the nuggets. Here's the steps. That's what I love so much about how you interview your guests. You're really digging deep. Hey, what's that breakthrough that got you to where you need to be or got you to get over the hump? I think is what a lot of people struggle with, is that either it's a mental hump, a monetary hump, or it's an action hump. Where do I begin? Because they're overwhelmed with too much information now, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, it feels really hard, but there are people who have been through that journey. I feel like some people could say, like, you don't understand my circumstances. Like, I have like all these different things going on, but like the people who I've had on my show, like the stories you hear are crazy. Like what they had to go through to get to where they are now. I hear a lot about like a big common one. It's like the financial crisis. You hear about someone like losing their job, losing their business, their everything, being in debt, and being able to rise back up from that. So there's a lot of adversity to achieve that breakthrough. You just have to get through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely is. What's one of your guests that kind of stands out? And I'm putting you on the spot because Marc and I, we've known each other for a little while now, but we didn't really talk much about that. And so I thought, and I kind of like that because I like to ask my guests oddball questions and they're not prepared for. But when you think of the different interviews you've had, what's one that really kind of stands out that really shocked you?
I did a recent interview with someone who was talking about how he got out of an addiction. And it was like a deep addiction. And the big thing that clicked for him was that he realized that he wasn't just hurting himself with this stuff. He realized he was hurting his family. And this is a guy who he loves his family. They had a rough patch because of his usage, and then they were able to fix it. So not many digital marketing strategies in that episode, but it was just really insightful to hear that this person who was really, really deep into all these different things, he found something bigger than himself. And I think when we find something that's bigger than ourselves and we change that to our motivation, we change that to our whys, a lot of people like to call it, that's when the results and the real change start to happen.
Yeah, I think that's such a great point there. Is you've got to have a why, otherwise you're just kind of bouncing around and not being focused on things. But it's the motivation factor, and it's kind of, I don't think people change, whether it's in their life, their business, their relationships, whatever, unless it starts to get uncomfortable. The comfort level can be crippling, I think, for the most part. And that's the thing about, like you said, anybody's going through an addiction, they have to see at some point where it becomes uncomfortable. A lot of times you got to hit the rock bottom of the rock bottom, before anything happens. And what's funny is when you said addiction, I thought you said eviction at first. I'm like, somebody's booted out of their house. Okay, I can understand that. But they're like, oh no, it's addiction. Which is okay. So they're both kind of rock bottom at some point. Now, Marc, you've got for those that are listening, you can't see what Marc's got in his office there, his home office there. You got behind you the logo of the Breakthrough Success podcast. You've also got a couple books. You're also an author on a couple of things. Is one of those books your favorite, or a new one that you've got out?
So it's hard for an author to pick which of their books is their favorite. Like each new book I'm coming out was my favorite. I'm coming out with a book called YouTube Decoded soon, which is going to help people create great content, help people promote that content, help people make money with their videos. So it's not there, but it is the next one that I'm working on. Should be out around mid-September, just in time for the New Media Summit. That's kind of the deadline for that book to get it there for the signing that Scott helped organize. But I mean, it really depends on who you are. Like some people, they'll like a book on being a wealthy author. Some people, they want a book on podcasting. So it just depends on the reader based on what they want to get.
Right. Now, you've got the YouTube Decoded coming out, which we're all excited about. When I first heard that, I was like, oh, we got to get you on. We got to definitely do that. Because video, I think video is such a big part of marketing, especially going forward. Some people have gotten away from it or avoided it for the most part. But I really think as we, come to 2020, if not before, I know video has been a big part of what we do to market on a regular basis. What do you find so valuable in YouTube, in your own opinion, of why people and entrepreneurs of all types need to be using more video?
Well, with video, you have more options for like providing a valuable experience because like with podcasting, like when it comes to editing, you could do sound effects, you could do music, but taking clips and moving them around. So you definitely have more options for creating that content. Video content's also more engaging, and it's pretty much modern TV because people, they instead of watching TV, they flip over to their computers, and now you're one of those channels. So you can be a part of that infinite loop where like when you come out with something new, you have people watching it. But when it comes to YouTube, one of the big things about YouTube in particular, where it beats out everyone else, is you get such incredible metrics. You get to see second by second how people are watching your videos. You can see if you've had a big drop in your your retention rate. So that'll help you. If you go to that part of the video, you see I messed up, I did something different here that resulted in this big drop. YouTube will be able to tell you that. And they have all this great data that it's really like so intense, the data, but if you're able to weave through it and know what's important, you could learn a lot about your content instead of just producing content and hoping you get lucky or hoping that this new thing you're doing is actually more engaging.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I think a lot of people like to just throw stuff against the wall and let it stick to see what hits versus spend some time and really dive into their numbers. What would you say the biggest mistake that you see a lot of YouTube, either people that are using video on YouTube or people getting into YouTube, are struggling with or making mistakes on a regular basis?
I don't think most YouTubers do enough for the optimization, because I feel like when people think about creating content, they see that as a big milestone. They see that as yes, I did my work today. But it's really optimization that matters. It's figuring out what keyword you're going to focus on in your description, in your title, and figuring out like some people, like I'll do this for some of my videos. I'll research popular keywords because I don't want to create a video on a topic that doesn't have enough demand yet. So there are some topics that I know I could do great videos on, but they don't have the demand yet. So there's no point in me creating those videos unless I can tie it into something with demand. So doing that research, taking the time to create custom thumbnails, looking at your click-through rate on those thumbnails, because that's like click-through rate and watch time are the things YouTube care about the most. So looking at optimizing thumbnails, get more clicks. So I'd say optimization. That's the big thing, that you feel like you've done the job by creating the content, but you're really missing out on literally all the traffic that you could be getting from YouTube search if you're not optimizing.
Yeah, I think that was one of the biggest things earlier on for me, was having to make sure and go create a custom thumbnail versus just leaving up my one of many stroke faces that you'd like to put up there when you're doing video. You know, the whole or talking.
Yeah.
You know, we're all guilty of that. Stephanie was doing a video last night for her Fur Babies podcast or YouTube, and then she had a head tilt and stroke. I was like, no, let's go ahead and find another thumbnail in here really fast while we create another image for you on there. But that's a big key. It's just that little bit of that image that people see is what really attracts a lot of things. What are some things that you would recommend people do in creating thumbnails for their videos? Because people will record video and, like you said, oh, I threw it up there, yay, high five. Where's the money rolling in? You know, and that's not the case. You've got to do the extra work, like you say, thumbnails and really and identifying the right topic, the description, and the keywords. So why don't we start first? If we're thinking about the YouTube page, you get your video up there. What's some things that you would recommend people do for their thumbnails?
So for the thumbnail, I recommend using Canva to actually create it, because they give you the pixel dimensions, which is really easy. Like that could be a pain if you don't know what you're doing, but Canva makes that easy. One thing that I would recommend is obviously having a picture of you or your logo, having like a few words, no more than 4 words in a YouTube thumbnail, because if someone has to, like, people are scrolling through their phones, people are scrolling through their desktops, they don't have time to read a sentence. They have time to read like 3 or 4 really big words that are easy for anyone to see. So that's something to think about. One thing I also do is when I come out with like a certain video series, like if I want to talk about podcasts, if I want to talk about YouTube, if I want to talk about training courses, it's a different type of thumbnail. So one of the things that I've been doing is changing some of the thumbnails of my existing videos to make that theme more obvious. So for the YouTube, I have something like a up chart with like a dozen of the YouTube logos around that up chart. And you could see that style of thumbnail within multiple of my videos now. And I picked that thumbnail because that was the one that got the highest click-through rate. So those are some things I would do for the thumbnail. I'd say it's a really important piece because it's a picture and we're very visual. And that's going to be the thing that if you have a good looking thumbnail that conveys what's being talked about, you're going to get the clicks.
Do you think it's important to have your face in there or more of the topic? Or would that vary depending on what the video is?
I put myself a little bit on the right and I put the words on the left. That's intentional because if you have that right bottom part, like things that show up on YouTube, it's going to not show us probably like the timestamp, like how long is the video. That will always show up on bottom right. So any text there isn't going to be seen as well. So I always put myself on the right side because you don't need to see like a little more of my shirt or something like that, but you need to see the words to know what the video is about.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And also, it's also kind of a place where a logo will go oftentimes, like if you're going to use Vimeo or other things to do that.
Yeah.
That I like to, we'll put the show logo on our videos there. So it's if the timestamp comes up, they're not worried about the logo or my face or my shirt, exactly like you said. It's there. They're not missing out on what the bottom part of it. Okay, great. So then talking about, we got a thumbnail, picked out something, and then the next thing, description. I mean, the title is so important. I think a lot of people screw up on it. You said something really good about how you're checking the keywords. Can you walk our listeners and those out there a little bit about kind of that process?
Sure. So I use two tools. I use vidIQ. That's the thing I use to check out like keywords and see demand. TubeBuddy is something I also use. That's more of like tags for YouTube. They give you a whole bunch of tag suggestions because YouTube gives you a max of 500 characters. If you don't know what you're doing, or if you just have to like think of keywords on the fly, you're not going to hit them. But with TubeBuddy, they give you more than enough keywords. So you have to pick which ones are the best because you only have 500 characters to play with. So those are the tools I recommend. I always use vidIQ to figure out the topic of the video. This will even help me out with the title. So I recently did a LinkedIn collab video pulled out of one of my podcast episodes, and I saw that LinkedIn marketing was a big topic on YouTube, like that specific keyword. So what I did is I put LinkedIn marketing in the title. Now there's also another keyword about like how to get clients on LinkedIn. That was also big. So I put the how to get clients on LinkedIn part first, and then I put LinkedIn marketing second. So I just separated them with a line. That's really all I really use straight. And that allows me to have multiple keywords within the same title. So you do want to create a title for people because they understand when they watch that video, which comes out soon, like, okay, it's going to be about how to get clients on LinkedIn, but by including other keywords in there, you're ranking for other search terms too.
That makes sense. Totally makes sense. And so once again, those two websites, again, for those that are listening, so just in case I missed it, was what? TubeBuddy, right? And vidIQ?
Yes.
Great websites. Love those two, actually. We use them quite a bit with what we're doing here too. Now, let's talk about the description. Is it important that people just put a short description in there, or should they go back in and take the full range of the full 5,000 characters, or a mixture of both, or what do you see that works the best, Marc?
I always do a really long description. I start with the default description that you could have for all of your videos. That part is really long for my videos because I want people to subscribe to my channel. I want people to get a free ticket to a virtual summit. I want to show them my resources. So all the things that could apply to like any video, I put them there. I do an about the channel at the bottom. So it's a really long description. What I put on top of that though is like 1 to 3 or maybe even 4 paragraphs about the video, kind of what you see most people do. Like in this video, we'll teach you this, but I am putting in a lot of keywords in there. I'm not listing keywords one directly under the other, but for that LinkedIn video, I'll be like, hey, do you want to get more clients on LinkedIn? This LinkedIn marketing strategy will work for you. And I go a lot more deeper into that. I put the keywords in a few other times, but the idea is in that description, I'm telling people what the video is about, but I'm also putting in the keywords that I want to rank for on YouTube for that video.
That's smart. That's definitely smart out there. And then is there on keywords, is there a limit that people should put in there as far as keywords for the most part? Try to fill up the full characters, or try to just focus, like you said, on a few keywords that are trending or doing other things?
I would focus on a few keywords. I mean, part of the idea is that the more you can put in, the better, but you want to focus on a select few that make the most sense for your video and are going to get the best results. Because the title, you want to focus on keywords in your title. You can't put like 20 keywords in your title. It's just not going to happen. So focus on what's in the title. The lead keyword in your title, that's the one you focus on the most. So if you, like in the LinkedIn marketing example, I put LinkedIn marketing at the back because I want to focus more on that keyword about getting more clients. I don't remember it specifically, but it's going to be in the video soon. So you want to focus on the ones in your title. And if you have a really long default description, you're going to hit most of those 5,000 characters anyway.
Great description out there and great answers to the questions. Just great nuggets for our listeners out there in Note Nation, because I've been big on video for years. I love it. We've been doing a lot of videos. We have a couple thousand videos up, and we have a very niche, you know what I mean, in the real estate side of things. I mean, you're also interested in real estate investing. You attended Note Camp Commercial just recently too, and doing some other stuff, right, Marc?
Oh yeah, real estate investing is definitely something I want to do. I'd rather start that when I graduate college, just because I'd rather look around a little more. Scott and I had the decent Facebook Messenger conversation about Austin versus San Antonio, because that is an area I'm looking at. But yeah, I'm very interested in real estate.
Yeah, no, and that's why I wanted to bring people up, because I love it. 20-year-old guy. You got how long left in college? How long you got left?
It's my last semester right now. I'm getting out early.
Yeah, congratulations, brother. Congratulations. Yay. Mom's happy, I'm sure, too.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Very happy.
And so the thing I want to put out here to people listen to is Marc's 21, get ready. He's still got a semester in college. You look over his shoulder, you see he's got 4 books and a 5th one coming out. All right. But you're also doing due diligence on markets to invest in and do some things and stuff like that. When do you have any fun, Marc?
I'm very selective in what I do. Like, I don't say I do many different things, but the things I do, I really enjoy. So running, I run every single day unless I'm off. I have goals of like running all those big marathons that you hear in the news. Like, I'm trying to run into all of those. I do some pool. And I mean, just like travel and experiences, like that's because I used to do video games and like more like expected of my age, but I just enjoyed creating content, having conversations with people like Scott, and this is my version of fun.
Hey, there's no wrong answer to that, man. That's the beautiful thing. I love it. Taking action and really delivering a lot of good content out there. Who would you say when you, as you're going through this, because when did you write your first book?
Maybe 14.
14, 7 years ago. So who's been one of your biggest, as you would say, as a hero or idol that you've really looked up to the last, 7 years since you really got into doing a lot of this stuff? Anybody?
Other than my entire family, because that's obvious, and
Sure.
They've been very supportive of me since day one. I'd say Seth Godin has been that guy for me, and I did do the whole podcaster thing where you interview your dream guests and you have the chills and stuff like that. So I was able to interview him twice for my show. It's really awesome because I also started on Squidoo, and that was when I first made like more than $10 in a month. I was like, oh, like I can actually make money here. Like I still remember the exact amount I made on month 1. Like that's how much of an impact it made on me. And then I was like, I could really create content, do this, make this a full-time thing.
Right. Squidoo, man. Most people don't even know Squidoo. I can
Hub
remember
pages. If you know Hub pages, you have an idea, but not a full idea of what it was.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's wow. I can actually remember learning Squidoo from Roland Frazier at digitalmarketer.com. And you know who Roland is by any chance?
No.
Oh my gosh. I gotta introduce you to Roland. Roland's a
All right.
phenomenal marketing mindset from digitalmarketer.com with Ryan Dice and those guys. Good people.
Oh, I know Ryan.
You know Ryan. So he's Ryan's partner basically.
Oh, wow.
And so, but Roland is meant, you know, I would say my man crush on things like that when it comes to, because I had a good fortune to work with him for a couple of years and learned a lot of our marketing skills back over, 2004, 5, 6, writing Hub Pages blogs and things like that, Squidoos and things like that as well when that was big around. So it's funny seeing that stuff and hearing those names pop up, the things that are from the past, right?
Yeah, Squidoo's a throwback.
A total throwback there. But let's talk about this stuff because you, with your content on your YouTube, you're really focusing on driving stuff and providing content. And that's what I want people to think about out there that are listening here. Because people are like, well, especially they go through our workshops, they're like, well, content, and I'm always telling people like, listen, hey, just start talking about it. You need to have some basic stories of kind of about who you are. And is there I hate to say this, I don't want to take away from the book, but is there a magic thing that you would tell people if they're starting a brand new YouTube account? What are some basic things you think they need to throw up on there? Is like maybe some core stories or core nuggets about who they are on their YouTube channel?
I would say start by creating videos on a bunch of different topics that have demand, that you enjoy. When you see one of them's taking off, go deeper into that topic. So regarding like origin story videos and stuff like that, you can make that your intro video. So I would just do one of them where you like ask people to subscribe, tell people about you and your brand. But you don't have to like make that every single one of your videos. You can slip in some random thing about you in each video. But I would just say focus on the topics, think about ranking early, and create more content around what your audience says, what the numbers say. We want more of this.
Right, because it's pretty easy. I mean, that's the beautiful thing that I love about video, especially as a podcaster, is that we've seen that double our audience almost immediately. It was you run matrices and things like that. We saw in our first year over 100,000 downloads on the podcast, but our views on Facebook and YouTube and Vimeo as well were greater and more engaged than the Facebook views and things like that. And then listeners obviously are engaged with the audio side. But when you see full video on YouTube being watched, and what is the average the average person on YouTube watches how long? How many minutes? Do you know off the top of your head there, Mark?
No, I don't know. I don't.
I think it's
probably
like
38 minutes though.
Minutes.
I think.
It's like it's short, and we were seeing like 13 and 14-minute averages of people hanging around and watching videos. So which is good, but it's a niche. It's a niche within a niche, things like that. But that's
right.
I think you said something really good there. Find some stuff on different topics, and when you find that hot niche, then you do the deep dive into that aspect of things, right?
Yeah, and when I say hot niche, I mean hot niche for you, because there are a lot of people who they will say, here's how you get YouTube subscribers. And then everyone thinks I need to create a video about how to get YouTube subscribers. And then I'm like, why is my YouTube subscriber video with the same 5 tips as that guy not doing as well? So you have to pick the topic that's working well for you. So for Scott, it's real estate notes. I don't know all the different topics you've tried, but this is a hot topic for you. This is why Scott's creating a lot of content in this space. For me, it's a mix of like podcasting and YouTube, social media marketing stuff. That's what a lot of people like to see from me. So I continue producing that kind of content.
How many hours a week are you kind of producing content? We kept track of that, Mark? I know it changes in ebbs and flows a little bit depending on class, but if you had to give a ballpark, how many hours or minutes are they're producing on a monthly basis or weekly basis?
I'd say maybe 4 to 8 hours a month. Like it's not that much time producing content. It's more about the marketing of the content, but I mean, you could really like not do too much work with the content side and get it out there. I do like to edit videos, but I don't always edit my videos just to get them out quicker. and if I know that the value is still good, because editing will make your videos higher quality, higher value, but sometimes I do prefer to just get them out there to grow my channel. So overall, 4 to 8 hours a month on content creation.
Yeah, we're talking, that's an hour to 2 hours of content. That's not a lot. It's not a lot of time, but that's also good. Is it usually in like one video, or are you seeing where the average, what's the average time length of your videos that you're seeing that are doing well for you?
I'd say anything from 5 to 10 minutes for me. One of the things I'm going to be experimenting with is some of the longer live stream videos, because that's a really great opportunity for YouTube. And you also boost up your watch time because you've got people watching a 30-minute, a 60-minute, sometimes even longer video. And you do have to have 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watched time on your channel to be able to run AdSense on your videos. It's not the main source of income, and you can make a lot more money with 1,000 subscribers if you do it right. But I feel like that is a standard a lot of people like, and they do like making extra money with the AdSense, because why not? So just some things to think about.
So what Marc's, if you don't know, guys, is that you have the ability to monetize your channel, whereas people can run ads at the beginning or throughout your different videos, and you get if they click on it and buy something, then you get a percentage point of the ad set revenue from Google, and it pays. I mean, we've had checks come in. We haven't focused on it. It's not been our biggest thing, but hey, it's always nice when some of your utility bills are paid throughout the month.
Yeah,
things rolling in, and 1,000 subscribers. People are like, man, I only just started a channel. I'm like, listen, just provide good content and ask. Don't be afraid to ask to make sure and subscribe. I think that's one of the biggest key factors. But you've been on a growth rate recently. You mentioned something on Facebook the other night about how you kind of grown your channel recently with the subscribers you've been focused on. You want to give away any of your tricks and secrets or best practices for helping people grow their subscribers?
Oh, yeah. So one of the big things you want to do is offer some kind of giveaway or some kind of incentive to have people help you reach certain milestones. So I feel like every YouTuber wants a milestone, and like 3,500, that was a big milestone for me that I was hitting at this time. And instead of making it like a help me get these like extra subscribers, I want this milestone. I want to sleep at night knowing I have this milestone. Instead, what I did was I said, if we hit this milestone today, everyone's getting a free course tomorrow that I normally charge $100 for. That makes more sense for my strategy, because I've got like 27 courses on Udemy. So I just pick one of them. I make them free for a little bit. But I'm doing that for 4,000 subscribers. Also, we already have the course decided. I'm going to be doing that for 5,000 subscribers. So there is an incentive for people to help me reach my different milestones. That was the biggest thing, other than the continuous marketing, that helped me get a big surge, where I think I gained like 70 subscribers in one day or something like that. Like it was like a really big growth compared to what I normally do.
Now, you obviously didn't post that. I mean, you had the video on Facebook or on YouTube, but where did you post that? Hey, if you'll subscribe to my channel, I'll give you a free course. LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, email blast. What was kind of
it was really just the email blast, and this was something I was testing. So like if I like spread this out, it could be even more, but it was really just an email blast. For context, I do have around 14,000 people on my list. So there's definitely a lot more people I'm able to reach out to with that email blast. But that is all I did to get that big spike in subscribers for that one day.
That's really good, though. I mean, 14,000, that's a pretty good sized list. Has that all been organically grown from attending different events or harvesting other social media channels, or how have you grown that list? Because that's a great thing. And there's another part to that question I want to come back to, but
that's primarily organic. I Twitter a lot. I still feel like I think Twitter's changing in a sense where it's more of a it's like build relationships on the platform, engage with people content, because I think there's just like a lot of there's way too many people doing that. So Twitter is really great for building relationships now. When I first started on it, it was easier to push out content and get a lot more engagement. So that's how I grew my list. I did all the virtual summits. That really helped me as well. So I'd say those be my big things that helped me initially. And now YouTube is making a big mark on my list as well.
Right. Now, with your courses that you're doing, your courses, do you have kind of a minimum video? I mean, we talked about 10 to 15 minutes, you get a nugget in, but is there a different number of videos, like 10 videos or hours worth of video that you see has worked well for your virtual courses?
I like to do at least 10 videos for my courses. I like to have that double digit, and I go for at least 16 videos. These are really short, like 2 to 5 minutes. I don't go in like super detail in all my Udemy courses. I have a few courses like the Content Marketing Plaza where I probably have like 6 to 8 hours of content in that one. But when it comes to creating on Udemy, which then pretty much gets repurposed on Skillshare and anywhere else I see fit, I'm happy with doing just a 1 to 2 hour training course, because the way Udemy works is you pretty much can't sell anything unless it's $10. And they do discounts all the time. Like if you go on Udemy, you know, like everything's discounted every week, it seems. And then Skillshare pays you for like how many minutes people actually watch your course. So I'd rather come out with a bunch of them on those platforms and then have something like Content Marketing Plaza or like another one like that, where I go all in on and have that in-depth 6 to 8 hours, charge higher, so that I know that it's not going to be like a $10 course sale or something like that for all the work I'm putting in for that one.
Right, but that's a great thing. They're having that 10 to 16 videos that are 10 to 15 minutes long. I think everybody could do that. And I'm just kind of bringing it back on the real estate side of things. There's easily a way for people to post. If we think about the note business, hey, here's a little short video about each type of exit strategy we have, how we make money, or due diligence breakdowns, or 10 talks with investors, or 10 different types of 10 different states that I'm investing in. I want people to think about that and try to get some nuggets there. I mean, people have done fix and flips or rentals or landlords. You could do a short recap on each deal. Hey, what'd you pay for it? How'd you find it? How long did you have the asset? What you sell it for? How long did you keep it for? Talked about the profit margins of things like that. Those are great content nuggets that you can charge for, but still not overly charged. I mean, what's your average price of your course that you're selling on a regular basis, Mark?
Around $97. That's the average.
Yeah, $97. But hey, $97 adds up pretty fast. You know, if you get 10 people, that's roughly $1,000. And if you're growing your connected list, those are easy ways to market to your subscribers that, hey, you're providing content and going from there. And I'm probably pretty sure you're probably using the community feature in YouTube now to really communicate with your 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 followers too, right?
Oh yeah, it's a feature that not as many people are using, so it's an easier way to stand out. And now on YouTube's home feed, they include the recent community tab. So even if you're not posting videos every day, if you post stuff through that community tab every day, you're getting seen every day by your audience. And it's not like overwhelm because people have different thoughts on video frequency. I like to just create a bunch of videos each week. Some people do daily, but the issue with daily is you burn your subscribers. Like, how can I keep up with this stuff? But if it's like a daily community post where it's just a picture and like a paragraph, that's easy for someone to skim and keep up with. So I feel like it's a very underutilized part of YouTube.
Yeah, I think and most people just don't know that it's popped up there. But that's a great way to go and communicate with your subscribers. And, you know, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily do it every day, but once a week, you know, holiday. Right.
Yeah.
It's just another way to kind of get out to the people that are watching there and post. And so what one of the things we've been doing is we've been using wave.video to create short little videos around the Star Wars Day, May the 4th, 4th of July, little short videos that we're posting onto the community pages. It's just a way to get eyes on those, but also just to communicate, because I've been getting people that communicate on there that aren't connected to me on Facebook or on Twitter, but they're loyal followers. I'm sure you've seen a lot of the same thing too. They're correct.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
So if you could wave a magic wand and 5 years from now, what does Marc Guberti look like in 5 years of what you're focused on in 5 years now? I know next semester you're busy, you got classes you're wrapping up, but where you ultimately want to go? Your 5-year plan. What's your plan there, Mark?
Have 100,000 YouTube subscribers. I've publicized that exact goal, 5 years, 100,000. So that's what I got to lead with, since we just talked about YouTube for a lot. Also, having real estate in my possession. I invest in REITs right now, but it's different to be able to have the leverage that you get with real estate, and just being able to do all the different marathons that I enjoy doing, running a bunch of like big cities and stuff like that. So I'd say that's a small snapshot of like 5-year me.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. But that's a big thing I want people to realize is you've got your goals, and you went directly to it. When I asked you there, not everybody knows what their goals are. They're like 5 years. I can't think 5 minutes from now or 5 days from now. But that's the thing, 100,000 subscribers in 5 years. You'll hit that because you're doing what? You're getting about 100 a month on average. You're growing since you've really been focused on it, or what?
Oh yeah, I'm at around 200 a month, but that's really started to pick up steam recently.
Yeah, because it'll exponentially grow, and we've seen that on our channel going from 50 to 100 to 150. I think we had 175 last month as we're growing there. And that's the thing is, if you focus on it, it does pay off for you. We've seen our hours go up, our listening goes up, we're seeing the monetization go up on stuff like that. So it's just, as I like to say, it's resharing the conversations most people have, but instead of you having to rehash the conversation 1,000 times, you do it once, and it's watched 1,000 times, right, Mark?
Yep. So I love that video.
If people want to reach out to you, is the best way to go and subscribe to the YouTube channels you prefer, or is there a better your website, or how would you like people to connect with you, Mark?
Definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're quite away from 100,000, so definitely do that. I also help people with YouTube and podcasting, so you could schedule a free call with me at marcguberti.com/strategy. And finally, we have an event called the Content Marketing Success Summit. That is an evergreen event, over 70 speakers. We look to add to that each year. So contentmarketingsuccesssummit.com for that one.
When is that slate? You said it's evergreen, it runs all the time, or is it?
It runs all the time, and then sometimes we do a live event.
Oh, nice. You're going to have to email me all those links because we want to make sure to put that in the description here.
Definitely.
On the homepage and stuff like that. What's been one thing with your marketing stuff what's a hurdle that you've worked to overcome in the last, say, 6 or 12 months with your marketing? Anything that's been kind of that stumped you a little bit, or you struggled with?
I think for me, it was just finally figuring out how to tap into YouTube and how to promote that across all of the social networks so that you're not just on one of them, you're truly on all of them. Not like you created an account, you set up your username and password on all of them, but like you're actually posting a few times each week on all of them.
Is there any specific tool that you're using, like Hootsuite or Buffer or Sprout, to help you out with that?
I use Hootsuite to help you out a little bit, and then I go into each one because there's different benefits for each social network. Like Facebook has its groups, LinkedIn has the ability to build really deep relationships really quickly. Twitter, you've got a lot of communication happening, and I can post my content there. So I like to go on each one of the platforms to engage with people and put content there as well.
That makes sense. And that's the thing is, it's great to use Hootsuite, and it's a great tool. But having the ability also to post native content to it that's not been reshared, that helps out tremendously. And I think, and as I said before, I think the Facebook groups, that's a great thing if you know how to use them on a regular. You don't want to go in and spam them on a regular basis, but you want to provide good quality content to really help people in other areas. People that have built the big group of 5,000 or 10,000, or in some case 100,000. We see that happen a lot on LinkedIn. There's some big groups that we're part of that we will post stuff, not to spam, but just content, get rocking and rolling. So once again, guys, if you'd like to reach out to Marc, you can go to his website, marcguberti.com. Great place. You can go to his YouTube channel and subscribe, help him out with that. It's a great, I love the website. You have so much great knowledge on there, nuggets on there, and great things out there for you too. And you're going to be in San Diego here. We're like 3 weeks out from it, aren't we?
Yeah, we're really close. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah. And the book, let's before we wrap up, what's the book name and title for people to take a look at? And
YouTube Decoded. It will be out around mid-September, just in time for the New Media Summit. YouTube Decoded by Marc Guberti. Marc with a C, not a K, everybody. Yes. Big detail.
Big deal. I typed in the inbox, like, whoop, I spelled the name. Let me go back and edit it real fast there for you, buddy. But anyway, Marc, thank you so much, man. Just absolutely some great nuggets out there. We look forward to having you on again. Looking forward to hanging out with you. I spent a little bit more time with you at New Media Summit there in San Diego with everybody else. It'll be a fun event. Looking forward to the book, YouTube Decoded, everybody. When it comes out, we might need to have you back on one of our podcast ones to help promote that as well, too, for you. All right?
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Marc. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Note Closer Show. Like I said, if you're listening to this on any of our channels, thank you so much. Make sure you go on over to our YouTube channel and subscribe, or go to the website and opt in to either buy notes, to get some more training, or just to listen and read or watch the replays from all of our over 500 plus episodes of the Note Closers Show. So go out, take some action, and we'll see you all at the top, everybody. Bye.